All right, next one. The sickness, wellness, fitness continuum. This is another fitness model in CrossFit. And it's, if I'm honest, this was probably the one that made me kind of opened my eyes as to what this is really all about, as opposed to just getting excited about fitness. This was like, right, okay, this is actually a big deal, not just for me, but for people around me as well. So the sickness, wellness, fitness continuum, look it up. I would encourage you to have it in front of you while I'm talking through this. You'll see it's like a half circle or a semicircle, just a line that goes up and then down. On one side you have sickness, in the middle you have wellness, and then on the other side you have fitness. And the goal for us is to get as far away from sickness as possible and get as close to fitness as possible. Okay, so bypassing wellness and getting as close to fitness as we can, right? When it comes to this model, how do we know where we are on that continuum? Because it is a continuum, which means that we can be anywhere on it. Sometimes we can be thrown down to sickness because of like a freak accident, or things can happen that make us very, very sick, and there's not much we could have done about it with our health and fitness. There's things that will affect it because of our health and fitness, but if you suddenly find out that you've got, stage 3 cancer somewhere, it's like, well, I'm pretty sick, but I do CrossFit 5 times a week. It's like there's always like gray areas in this, but again, it's a continuum, and we can use it as a marker for our overall health. So the way we do this, we need to base where we are on that continuum based on measurements of different pieces of data about our fitness and about our health. So those data points have to be measurable, they have to be observable, and they have to be repeatable. So we need to be able to measure them fairly regularly, just so that we can track whereabouts we are on this continuum. And I'll just run through a few of these, and it'll kind of help you figure out where and what we're looking at here. So blood pressure, okay, we want blood pressure to be in and around 120/70. Body fat, we want to be in and around 20% or less body fat. Bone density, okay, so bone density is essentially like the strength of your bones. So the more dense, the more strong, the closer we are and further away from the further we are away from sickness. Triglycerides, which is essentially your body's storage of like fatty tissues and acids within the body. HDL, cholesterol, okay, so this is a measure of good cholesterol, essentially. The more of that, the better. Resting heart rate, the lower the better. Muscle mass, lean muscle mass in particular, the more the better. That's where I'm going with that, okay? And you could put workout scores on this as well. So if we think of, again, the workout Fran, I talked about it before, 2159 thrusters and pull-ups. The longer it takes for us to get that done, the further away we are from fitness. The quicker we can get that done the closer we are to fitness, because our bodies are more capable of handling a bigger stress, okay? So the sickness, wellness, fitness continuum is incredibly, it's another concept, it's another visual representation of where we are in our health and fitness journey. There's a lot of gray areas because life happens. we can do all of these things, get all these markers up, and then tragic events can happen, and it like, not that it didn't matter, but like, it doesn't play a part. Like, if we walk out and get hit by a bus tomorrow, God forbid, it doesn't matter how far we were up the sickness, wellness, fitness continuum. Buses don't really, like that. It is what it is. Do you know? Now, one last thing, and then we'll finish this up. The thing about this continuum is, the further you are up it, the harder it is to get to the other side. So we're essentially building a hedge against that sickness on that other side. So if we get ourselves to a place where we're extremely fit, where all our markers are in the right place, we're fit and healthy, we're eating all the right stuff, we're hydrated, we're strong, we've had like lean muscle mass, we're feeling good. If you get sick, you're still going to have to, well, not necessarily if you get sick, it's going to be much more difficult for you to get very, very, very sick than if you started in the middle at wellness. You're going to be into sickness pretty quickly, because your body's not as strong, your body isn't as immune, it hasn't built up kind of that natural process of that defense mechanism, essentially, from sicknesses, as it would have if you were a much healthier, stronger individual. So think of getting fit as creating a hedge against sickness. And the thing that got me was, the more I get closer to fitness, the less pressure and stress I put on our hospitals. So I have a lot of friends, and I have a lot of, my wife works in a hospital. I used to work in a hospital, and I want to caveat this by saying there is absolutely zero judgment on anybody and their lifestyle. We're all on a different journey and in a different place in life. But personally, whenever I was in hospitals and you see people who, through different reasons, have gotten to a place where they are not healthy whatsoever, and that doesn't necessarily just mean through obesity, they're just not looking after their bodies, and that is the reason they're in hospital, because of their own controllable lifestyle factors, not because of a freak bug that just, destroyed their immunity and now they're in hospital because they contracted some crazy virus. It's a lot of the time because they didn't control the controllables, and their lifestyle wasn't putting them in a place where they were putting a hedge against themselves going into hospital, if that makes sense. So just something to think about. If you have any questions about any of that stuff, let me know. I like discussing it, as you know. But I'll speak to you soon. Bye.